the hurry watching of His Majesty the King welcoming Sir Keir Starmer just before he poses the question in the
You must be utterly exhausted and nearly on your knees, but not actually quite a grueling by the sound of it. Yes. It's a very sort of quick changeover, to say the least. And having to get to grips with everything straight away must be quite
The books, what she found was a £22 billion black hole this year. Now, she had a choice: pretend it isn't there, walk past it, or deal with it.
No, I just want to
deal with it.
I just want to stop you there. That was a choice. It was a political decision for the reasons that you say. You want to sort out the economy, but how can you justify it to viewers who feel like it is an attack on some people who've worked hard all their lives? They're not wealthy, they don't have money to spare, and this year, if it's cold, they're going to be looking at the thermostat and wondering if they can pay their bills.
To decide decisions, scrap winter fuel payments, the centrepiece of your interview, for millions of pensioners, is going to come under fresh scrutiny when Labour Party members in just a couple of hours vote on whether or not to reverse it. And, as we've been saying, ministers are bracing themselves for an embarrassing defeat.
The Prime Minister has already left the conference, conveniently avoiding any potential embarrassment. Prime Minister, you mentioned that you are dedicated to providing a government service for working people. You must have mentioned working people at least 13 times in your speech. What about the people who have worked all of their lives, paid into the state, pensioners? How can you justify taking away up to £300 from those formerly working people?
Well, it's tough. Private sector. I do support that. I want to pay tribute to Jeremy Corbyn, who led our party through some really difficult times. National Statistics has conducted vital work on the state of immigration.
Must be the most unpopular Prime Minister ever.
What do you think?
I think they're rubbish.
I think so. People are a little bit disheartened, aren't they? So many promises that don't happen, and all of the scandals.
They sort of say one thing and then when they get in power, they do another. But the fact that this thing at Spencer's that came up, free gifts and all that.
So far, not particularly impressed with Keir Starmer.
So far, no.
We did an audit and we discovered an undisclosed £22 billion black hole this year. There's a £22 billion black hole. We have to deal with this year because we need to stabilise the economy.
Why do pensioners have to pay, Prime Minister?
Please, the reason we had to do this is because of the black hole left by the previous government.
But you had choices and you chose to do it. You didn't have to do it, you chose to do it.
£22 billion of money is a huge amount of time in a year.
Yeah.
I utterly condemn the far-right thuggery we've seen this weekend. Be in no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law.
I was very disappointed with Keir Starmer's speech, as I think a lot of people were. We should also just note, this isn't my opinion, in the leadership ratings in all of our national polls, he's down by about 30 points since coming into power. I mean, this guy is quickly becoming one of the most unpopular prime ministers that we've had in a long time.
Keir Starmer arrived at Downing Street promising change, but now he's being described as the king of the freebies. There have been free clothes, free tickets, and free football. Since 2019, Starmer has received gifts worth a total of £107,145, the biggest amount of any MP. Almost £40,000 came from a single donor, Lord Wahid Ali. £16,200 for work clothing.
You're taking £300 from pensioners while wearing glasses that are worth £2,000. Is that fair?
I have in my mind's eye all those people across the country who are...
I came here to speak to this man, not your security. You have failed me.
Thank you. Okay.
I've been a Labour voter my entire life. You have failed to be the opposition. You have failed to ask whether lockdown was functioning.
Just behind. Can we just
Do you understand? Shall we go on in? Thousands of people have died.
More than a week, riots breaking out in city after city. Cars torched in northeast England. Fires raging in Belfast, in Northern Ireland. This hotel, used to house asylum seekers, set ablaze.
You statesmen! You're a child abuser! You child abuser! You child abuser! Where's Jimmy Savile? Where's Jimmy Savile? Get back! Traitor! You child abuser!
It's 2025. Things are hard. You know, paying the bills, the energy prices, simple things like making a cup of tea or rolling a bird, for example. It's all become very expensive. You know? I'm just Guy Evans. I'm just a guy, you know? People sit there and they talk about politics all the time, and I've always been quite apolitical. I've never really had a political opinion. Obviously, I don't like nonsense, yeah? And I'm not a fan of people taking a piss, right? But at the end of the day, at the minute, things are going quite bad. Like I said, boiling the kettle just to make a cup of tea cost me like £1 each go. Apparently, I haven't really checked. But you know, I've been thinking about things a lot, and people, right, I've noticed, but people around me, my mates, my people I've seen in the street, and people I just talk to in general, they all become very political. Everybody has got to be a professional politician. Usually it just goes straight over my head, you know. But when I'm getting dole money, and it's quite high dole money, and then I'm trying to buy a packet of fags, some coffee, a cup of tea, fucking bits and pieces, a bit of weed, it makes me think, because of the cost, what can we do about this then? And now I come up with this idea. I've been stewing on it for a while, like. What it is, what if I could be Prime Minister? Imagine that, me as Prime Minister, running the UK. Could I do it? Yeah, I could. Now, first of all, what I would do, I'd sort of go and barge into my way into Buckingham Palace, right? I wouldn't wear a suit, I'd just be like normal. I'd dress normal, I'd go in with a fag on, and I'd go, "Oi, big ears." And Charles would be like, and I'm like, "Yeah, you, big ears. I want a word, right? This country's gone to shit. You're sat here, sitting on a gold throne, you're wearing all this jewellery on your head that costs more than the UK. What are you doing? Your brother's a nonce. You're surrounded by nonces. You've always been surrounded by nonces. I'm a little bit suspicious. Now, first things first, get rid of that silly fat wanker over there, right? Get rid of him. He's ruined the country, and you sat there and let him do it.
And having to get to grips with...
Ta-da, Kia. 3 gear, 2 gear, Kia. Fuck off. Fuck off, mate. Go away.
I utterly condemn the far-right thuggery.
What? What do you mean, far-right? Don't touch me off, mate. Get out. You useless fat prick. Get out. Fucking fire, cheeky bastard.
With everything straight away. Let's be quiet.
Oi, big ears, get him out. Get your big sausage fingers and move the cunt. Right. Now you got rid of that fat prick, right? This is how it's going to be. I'm going to lay it down firm, yeah? Right? I'm going to be the PM, yeah? I'll drop a fag on your carpet. I don't care about the axe, right, yeah? I'm going to be PM. I'm going to be British Prime Minister. There's nothing you can do about it. If you've got a problem, right? Got a problem? If you open your fucking mouth, I'm going to turn around or I'll fucking knock you out. I'm the Prime Minister, right? First thing I want to do, now that I'm newly appointed, right? I want that fat prick arrested, and I want him locked up in jail, and I want him put away for good, and all of your nonce mates. After that, I'm going to start fucking sorting this country out. I'll get down to business. Right? Leave it to me, Charlie boy. Leave it to me. Today is going to be my first day as Prime Minister. I have a nice little shower to prepare.
Here we are at 10 Downing Street. Not the usual room for a conference for our new Prime Minister, but we await him. Here enters our new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Here, he is preparing for his speech.
Right, first of all, I'd like to say welcome to my conference. I've just been elected as your new British Prime Minister. And this is going to be a body. So, the reason I'm in Downing Street right now, we've done some budget cuts, so I'm not in the usual room. It's the first step to sorting out this terrible economy. Right, first things first. Now, as you can tell by the way things have been over the last couple of years, the last 14 years, the government has fucked us over. Right, and I am going to swear, because it needs saying, this is serious stuff. Alright guys? In fact, I'm just going to take this off, because I don't need it. I'm going to be quite frank with you. I'm going to be down to earth. Because this is what the people need. They need someone who's honest. And I think you'd agree. This may seem a bit maybe inappropriate or a bit wild, but trust me. So the first thing on my agenda. Day one of office, I'm legalising weed. Okay? Everyone will illegally, everybody will legally be allowed to sell it, be able to smoke it. Not everyone's selling it, mind, because I'm firm but fair. No taking the piss, alright? Yeah, so my policy is we're going to start growing. We're going to repair the relationship with America, yeah? So we're going to be importing their stuff over to here, and in the meantime, whilst we're going to crop of our own, it's going to make a lot of money for the country, and there's a lot of benefits to it. So whilst we're doing that, and we're going on crop, we're going to allow drug dealers who sell cannabis 6 months, 6 to 12 months, if I'm being a bit honest, for them to carry on growing, and the police will not arrest you. As soon as we've got our own crop that we've grown in the South Island Street, if you're caught selling it illegally, you'll be arrested. But the good news is, to prevent people who are drug dealers who grow weed to sell money, to prevent them from doing it illegally, we're going to be hiring these people, we're going to be paying them good money to grow weed for us. So fair's fair, so we've got a better crime, and we're making money for the country. Second on the agenda. All this woke shit stops today, that's it. No more. We're not taking it seriously anymore. Obviously, I'm going to bring into it in my next interview, and I will highlight some very important points regarding mental health and the treatment of others. But from now on, cancel culture, anything of the such that is woke is banned. And that's another thing. Immigration, which has been a massive problem. Massive problem. Okay? So, the borders, as of tomorrow or next week, as soon as it can be implemented, closed. The borders are closed. Anyone who's already over here, who's migrated over here, can stay. Right? As long as they take a test, they can stay. Anyone who's over here illegally, back off. You're going back to France. And if France don't like it, well, they can lump it. They can go and eat some toads. Or, in fact, that brings me to our next agenda. They can suck on eggs. Because this last government, with Keir Starmer, is totally and utterly destroyed our farming business, right? And cheap farming, I think, is quite important. The farming industry, right, is what we should be relying on. Because we live in a post-Brexit world. We're not in the EU anymore. We need to be putting money into local businesses, like farms, butchers, anything local, steelworks. All of that will be funded, and I'll make loads of jobs available for all of that category, basically, right? And we're going to be seeing less supermarkets because they take the piss. Where are we now? Right, benefits. Right, so every single government that comes in says they're not going to touch benefits, they are going to touch benefits. It depends on who they're trying to appeal to. Old people, scroungers, etc. Now this is a policy that I'm going to stick to, right? Because I believe in giving people a chance, right? And I believe a good leader is like someone like me, right? You get a good deal, right? So I'm not going to cut your benefits off, I'm not going to cut your disabilities off, and all the rest of it. I'm going to raise wages, so I'm going to bring wages up, and I'm going to bring cost of living down. Because the way I see it, if you invest in people, you're investing in your country, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to invest in our great, grand country, especially Wales. That's right. So if there's any piss takers, right, who can work, but don't want to work, right, you're going to be gutted when you hear this, because people are going to be earning like £3 a month. And on benefits, you're just going to be on your measly whatever, barely touching £1,000. Gone. You're taking a piss, right, and bear in mind, there's going to be some more jobs available, like growing weed. And there's benefits to that system where you'll be able to take it home yourself, and you can part your wages and all that. And like all of this money is going to go to the NHS, and we're going to sort it all out. But the bottom line is, right, we're going to stop all these wars, we're going to stop giving our fucking money to people who aren't part of us. Do you know what I mean? Why are we sending millions of pounds to other countries to aid them when we've got our soldiers, right, on the street suffering, and we're putting other people who ain't from this country, you know, I know people need help. We need to prioritise our own citizens, right? We got old people freezing, nip down the bed. Old people are amazing. My granddad, you should have spoken to him, the stories he had about World War II. And that's another thing. He served. He fought for our rights to be able to say what we want to say, have the society we want today. I'm putting that back in place because it was all for nothing. It's all been for nothing. So, as your new Prime Minister, things are going to be changing around here. I'm firm, but I'm fair. Right? I'm going to give you a chance. And I know you're going to try and give me a chance after I've suggested today. Some people may see me as a bit weak. Some people may see me as a bit dodgy. But I believe that in order to make this country great, to bring up growth, you know, fix the NHS, house everyone, requires a bit of leniency to people. Stop putting pressure on people. If someone comes up to me and says to me, oh, you got to do this, so I'm going to take your money off you now, that doesn't make me want to work. Not at all. Oh yeah, take your benefits. Oh, that's really helping you, right? Oh yeah, I'm taking the roof away off your head. No. I'm going to put incentive out to work. If someone did that to me, and I've done before, oh, if you don't do this, I'm going to take that off you. It makes me not want to do it even more. My leadership is not going to be about domination. It's going to be about helping and sharing and growing. Alright? So, as I was saying, I'm going to start to be changing this country around. I've had a word with Big Ears, aka Mr. King Charles. All of his non-snakes are going to jail. Okay? And that's another thing. Every nonce that is caught, right, images, or things like images and videos, you get a life sentence. If you're caught actually fiddling with a kid, and I don't mean sexually assaulting a kid, you're not just going to jail, you're going on death row, bro. Our prisons are full up, okay? And we're appearing to be doing something very silly. Last year, an absolute huge number of people were committing crimes against children. Okay? There was murders. There's been paedophilia, there's grooming gangs, and what are we doing? Locking people up for putting something slightly nasty on social media. Okay? Not acceptable. What are they doing? Because the prisons are full. They're letting out all the nonsense, all the burglars, all the granny bashers, right? And they're locking up normal concerned citizens. That's going to be nipped in the bud, right? Everyone who got put into prison, right, for putting up a post, and this is within reason, mind, so if it's terrorism posts, you're not coming out. But stupid, simple things that everybody's thinking. Like, for example, let me think. Keir Starmer is telling lies, he's covering up the grooming gang, blah, 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 blah. You're coming out of jail, because it was true. So, as I was saying, people who got to jail for stupid things will be coming out of jail. And everybody, and I mean everybody, who's a nonce, a murderer, a rapist, they're all going inside, right? Now, there'll be categories, images, videos, that's a life sentence, okay? They stay over here. The ones who've actually done the touching, they go to death row in America. Because I've got a deal with the president over there, he's going to do it. And he's going to implement it over there as well. Zero policy on nonsense. Zero policy on piss takers. And zero policy on shit prime ministers. From now on, this country is going to be amazing. It's going to be pleasant to live here, right? No more borders. No more open borders. It's all done and dusted. I've been Guy Evans. And you've been my audience. And you've been great. I love you. You're a great country. I love you all. I'll be Guy Evans, your Prime Minister. And I'll catch you again in the next broadcast. Cheers.
And there goes our wonderful new Prime Minister. And what a wonderful speech it was. People are really excited across the UK. It's time for change.
But then again, I gotta be quite honest with you, I don't think I could be arsed, like.